The Germani, German or Germanic tribes are now considered to be related to the just of culture before expanding and interacting with the other peoples. The concept of a region for Germanic tribes is traced to the time of Julius Caesar, a Roman general and statesman who first referred to the unconquered area east of the Rhine River as Germania and the tribes living there as Germani. In 9, the victory of the Germanic tribes in the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest prevented annexation of Germania by the Roman Empire. Following the fall of Rome made by the Germanic tribes in 476 with their invasions in the context of the migration period and the founding of their own kingdoms, the Franks, a West Germanic tribe, later conquered the other West Germanic tribes and established the Frankish Empire. When the Frankish Empire was divided among Charles the Great's heirs in 843, the eastern part became East Francia, which marked the final end of Germanic period and the foundation of the Kingdom of Germany as well, especially when the Ottonian dynasty, having origin from the Duchy of Saxony of the Germanic Saxons, started to rule the kingdom in 919. In 962, King Otto I of Eastphalia became the first Holy Roman Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. The period of the early Middle Ages and High Middle Ages, with the Frankish Empire, East Francia, and the Holy Roman Empire being a great power in Europe, saw the Christianization of the German people, developments of the German-speaking region, the ethnic Germans, i.e. the Germanic-speaking peoples, beginning to move to settle in the East, including present-day Eastern Germany being of the West Slavic tribes since the migration period, although the Germanic tribes themselves settled here and in Eastern Europe before, and expansion of German territory with the various free states. The first was the establishment of the trading conglomerate known as the Hanseatic League, which was dominated by a number of German port cities along the Baltic and North Sea coasts. The second was the growth of a crusading element within German Christendom. This led to the establishment of the state of the Teutonic Order, established along the Baltic coast of what is today Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. This crusader state led to the Christianization of these regions, as well as an extension of Germanic culture and language eastward. Also during this period, German emperors became embroiled in conflicts with the Catholic Church over various political issues, resulting in the investiture controversy. In future, the state of the Teutonic Order would become the Duchy of Prussia, then Kingdom of Prussia, being one member of the Holy Roman Empire and the German Confederation, leading the North German Confederation, and leading the unified Germany, i.e. German Empire, 1871 to 1918.
In the late Middle Ages, the regional dukes, princes, and bishops gained power at the expense of the emperors. Martin Luther led the Protestant Reformation within the Catholic Church after 1517, as the northern and eastern states became Protestant, while most of the southern and western states remained Catholic. The two parts of the Holy Roman Empire clashed in the 30 Years' War, 1618–1648, which was ruinous to the 20 million civilians living in both parts. The 30 Years' War brought tremendous destruction to Germany. More than 1/4 of the population in the German states were killed by the catastrophic war. The estates of the Holy Roman Empire attained a high extent of autonomy in the Peace of Westphalia, some of them being capable of their own foreign policies or controlling land outside of the empire, the most important being Austria, Prussia, Bavaria, and Saxony. With the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars from 1803 to 1815, feudalism fell away by reforms and the dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire, led by Austrian Empire at the time. France of Napoleon also established its German puppet state, named Confederation of the Rhine. After French defeat, the German Confederation, also led by Austria, was established and included all German states and German-speaking lands. Thereafter liberalism and nationalism clashed with reaction. The German revolutions of 1848–49 failed. The Industrial Revolution modernized the German economy, led to the rapid growth of cities, and the emergence of the socialist movement in Germany. Prussia, rivals of Austria, with its capital Berlin, grew in power. German universities became world-class centers for science and humanities, while music and art flourished. Prussia beat Austria and dissolved German Confederation to establish the North German Confederation led by Prussia in 1866. The unification of Germany, excluding Austria, was achieved under the leadership of the Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, with the formation of the German Empire led by Prussia, when most of German states in the south joined the North German Confederation, after German victory over France in 1871. The founding of German Empire was also the founding of German Reich, existing until German defeat in World War II. This resulted in the Klein-Deutsch-Lösung supported by Prussia, Small Germany solution, Germany without Austria, rather than the Großdeutsch-Lösung supported by Austria, Greater Germany solution, Germany with Austria, which means New Germany did not include Austria and its non-German speaking lands. In 1879, Germany and Austria-Hungary, became military allies. Alliance of the two countries was later called the Central Powers. Italy, Ottoman, and Bulgaria later joined it, but then Italy withdrew because of a territorial disputing with Austria. The new Reichstag, an elected parliament, had only a limited role in the imperial government. Germany joined the other powers in colonial expansion in Africa and the Pacific. Under Emperor Wilhelm II, after Bismarck retired 1890, Germany's foreign relations with Britain, France, Russia deteriorated. Right before German engagement in World War I on 1 August 1914, Germany was one of the greatest powers in the world, with the strongest armed forces, strong economy, and first modern welfare system and big influence in all fields, as well as the dominant power on the European continent. Its GDP, as well as rapidly expanding industry, had surpassed Britain's, while provoking it in one naval arms race. Result of fact that Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia was World War I, in the context of bad relations between Austria and the Slavic peoples in the Balkans. Germany, as a member of Central Powers, had joined this worldwide conflict, 1914-1918, against the Allied powers. The Central Powers fought in two fronts, beat Russia in east, initially advanced and then held out in west, later lost on 11 November 1918, because Germany had to keep a considerable amount of its armed forces in the eastern, while Allies were disproportionately effective and facing consequence of US accession in the war. After the war, with the mistake of the Paris Peace Conference, 1919-1920, organized by the winners, Germany was humiliated, was partly occupied, was forced to pay war reparations by the Treaty of Versailles, and was stripped of its colonies, as well as significant territory along its borders. The German Revolution of 1918-19 put an end to the German Empire, with the abdication of Wilhelm II on 9 November 1918, and established the Weimar Republic, an ultimately unstable parliamentary democracy. On 23 March 1933, Adolf Hitler-led Nazi Party used the weak democracy and the economic hardships of the worldwide Great Depression from the USA, after the Germany's Golden Twenties, along with popular resentment over the terms imposed on Germany after World War I, to establish his totalitarian regime, which was also called Nazi Germany. This regime made the extreme racism, especially anti-Semitism, a central tenet of its policies, and became increasingly aggressive with its territorial demands, threatening war if they were not met. Germany also quickly remilitarized to build its strong armed forces, and did a socio-economic growth, then annexed Austria and the German-speaking areas of Czechoslovakia, both in 1938. 1 September 1939, after taking rest of Czechoslovakia, the country launched invasion of Poland, which quickly grew into World War II, with Germany being a member of Axis, which included the Empire of Japan. Official final goal of Nazi Germany was establishment of totalitarian and racist, Greater Germanic Reich in most of Europe, with the satellite polities near Germany, and the United Kingdom being an exception, as it was planned to be ally. During the war, the Nazi regime established a systematic genocide program known as the Holocaust, which killed 17 million people, including 6 million Jews, representing 2/3 of the European Jewish population of 1933. Although Germany had military successes in North Africa and much of Europe against British Empire and its allies, beside Japanese successes, Germany finally lost in two fronts due to successive defeats to the USSR in the Eastern Front from Bloody Battle of Stalingrad, as well as consequence of fact that US entered war, while German allies except Japan were also disproportionately effective. Following the Allied invasion of Normandy in France in June 1944, the German armed forces was pushed back on all fronts by the Allies, until final collapse on 8 May 1945. Europe was devastated and Anglo-French powers were declined, as well as the US, and the USSR became only the two superpowers in the world after the war. WWII also weakened colonies, most ruled by the Allies. Under occupation by the four Allies after the end of World War II in Europe, leading to the fall of the Nazi regime, Austria was again completely made a separate entity, becoming independent country in 1955. Denazification efforts took place, Germany lost its eastern territories, and Germans in Eastern Europe fled and were expelled. German territories were split up by the victorious powers. Axis finally lost on 2 September 1945. With the rise of the geopolitical conflict of the Allies after the war, including the fact that the Soviets withdrew from the Allied Control Council (ACC), ruling entire Germany on 23 March 1948, the plan about founding a new German state failed at the time. After Allied occupation of entire Germany, on 23 May 1949, the Federal Republic of Germany, i.e. West Germany, was founded in the US-UK-French zones. On 7 October 1949, with the official founding of the German Democratic Republic, i.e. East Germany in Soviet zone, the two countries also appeared since the time. Germans also fled from East Germany into West Germany, including West Berlin, which experienced rapid economic expansion and became a socio-economic